number of COVID-19 cases continues to rise globally and right here in Guyana. Therefore, we encourage everyone to practice social distancing. Wear a mask if you have to leave your homes and wash your hands thoroughly and frequently as we all strive to stop the spread of the virus. Welcome to InfoHub. It's Wednesday, June 24. Here's what we have to tell you. The Chief Elections Officer, Keith Lowenfield, on Tuesday presented his final report containing valid votes to the Commission, making the way clear for the declaration of results of the March 2, 2020 general and regional elections. Details in this story.
Guided by the ruling of the appellate court on Monday, which ordered that the Commission's decision on the elections be guided only by more valid votes cast, the CEO presented his report, which shows an APNO-AFC coalition win, with a total 171,825 valid votes. The opposition PPP follows with 166,343 votes. The joint list of a New United Guyana, the Liberty and Justice Party, and the New Movement totaled 3,348 valid votes. With the lead, the APNU AFC will have a 33-seat allocation, the PPP 31 and the joint list 1 making up the 65-seat legislature. The report shows a total valid votes cast of 344,508, with an electoral quota per seat at 5,300. The appellate court on Monday delivered a landmark decision when it ruled that GCOM, whose national vote recount of the March 2 polls was aimed at determining the credibility of the elections, can only use more valid votes cast to determine the results of the polls. The case was filed by private citizen Eslyn David through her attorney Maya Robinson, asking the Court of Appeal to interpret the validity of the votes based on Article 177(2)(b) of the Constitution in determining the elections of a president. David had challenged the Commission's decision to move ahead with a declaration of a president based on a fraudulent count of votes from the gazetted national vote recount of May 4 and 29, 2020. For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
2 more repatriation flights to bring home stranded Guyanese from New York and Miami have been announced by the National COVID-19 Task Force. Shakil Bourne tells us more.
On July 1, an Eastern Airlines flight will depart Miami for CJIA at 8:30 hours, and on July 2, another Eastern Airlines flight will depart New York for CJIA at 8:30 hours as well. In a written statement, the NCTF confirmed there are ongoing consultations with airlines for the provision of additional flights. All citizens are mandated to stand the airfare costs and other expenses that may arise. The NCTF is adamant that those persons complete PCR COVID-19 testing and test negative for consideration to be given to re-enter Guyana. Completion and submission of the repatriation form on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website is also a requirement. Citizens are subjected to a 7-day home quarantine upon their return, in addition to the guidelines set out by the NCTF, ministries, and agencies. All persons on home quarantine will be monitored by officials from the Ministry of Public Health. On July 6, the first flight with stranded Guyanese in the USA landed at CJIA. Since then, 3 flights have returned from various parts of the region. Guyana's borders with Brazil and Suriname remain closed, blocking the movement of people until further notice. Shakil Bourne for InfoHub.
The Ministry of Public Health is seeking the public's assistance in identifying and ensuring that several groups of repatriated Guyanese make contact with the ministry, as they have been found to be in breach of several measures which they agreed to upon returning home. Here now is Delicia Haynes.
The names of just about 50 Guyanese who have been repatriated are out in the public domain. They are identified as those persons who would have either refused to answer calls from the ministry, provided incorrect contact information, or are in breach of the 7-day home quarantine procedure. These persons, before re-entry to Guyana, would have agreed to conform to several measures, including having a PCR test done and providing a negative result before returning to Guyana, staying in home quarantine for a 7-day period, making themselves available for the surveillance team to monitor them, and adhering to all other measures currently in place to reduce the spread of the coronavirus. 16 persons would have been named as those who are not answering the phone numbers they provided to the ministry. 9 persons are found to have not been at home at the time the surveillance teams would have checked in. And 24 persons would have provided the ministry with incorrect contact information and are unreachable. These persons, or even their family members who are aware of their whereabouts, are asked to contact the ministry on telephone numbers 624-9355 or 624-3067. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
More news after this short break. Stay with us.
The COVID-19 pandemic has had a devastating effect on communities all across Guyana. Many households and individuals now find themselves in need of public assistance. The government of Guyana will be assisting the most vulnerable. Those eligible to apply for this assistance are as follows. Individuals and/or households who are currently benefiting from public assistance provided by the Ministry of Social Protection. Individuals and/or households who applied for public assistance and are awaiting a response from the Ministry of Social Protection. Individuals and/or households who suffered a loss of income due to COVID-19, and households headed by senior citizens or persons with disabilities. Application forms can be downloaded from the Ministry of Social Protection's website at www.mosp.gov.gy or government.gy/eform/241. For further information, please call these numbers. We are in this together. This is a message from the Government of Guyana. We are here to serve you.
Welcome back. Barbershops are one of the businesses now allowed to operate within phase 1 of the country's reopening process. However, the Public Health Ministry is reminding owners and workers at these establishments of how they should operate during this time. Delicia Haynes joins us again.
Given that this is a place where persons gather to socialize from time to time, the ministry is reminding that COVID-19 is still in Guyana and is spreading at a rapid pace. Even as these services are now allowed to operate, there are guidelines that must be followed as outlined by the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Shamdeo Prasad.
I understand how much pleasure you derive from being in this environment, but we are in COVID times and COVID-19 is serious. So I am asking that you desist from this risky practice. The owners of the barbershops have the responsibility to ensure that physical distancing is observed, no overcrowding, and that there is provision for hand washing. Wearing a mask must be an important part of the setup.
Owners and those working in the barbershops have a responsibility to ensure that children and the elderly are specially attended to, as they are considered vulnerable to contracting COVID-19. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
Remember to do your part to ensure that you do not put yourself at risk during this time. If you have a cough, fever, or difficulty breathing, please seek medical care early, but call those hotline numbers first. That's all for today. Connect with us on our social media platforms, including WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, as we bring you the latest and important news related to COVID-19 and much more. You can also subscribe to our website, dpi.gov.gy. Your Bridge Report is up next. Goodbye for now.